Hey everyone, it's Colt, and this video is an interview that I did with one of my graduates named Julia, who has a really interesting story. She used to work in hospitality. She had pretty brutal hours. She was coming in at like 4 in the morning, sometimes leaving at 9 at night. And obviously, COVID changed things substantially for everyone, but especially those working in the hospitality industry. So she tried to change careers. Well, she succeeded in changing careers. She enrolled in my software engineering career track with Springboard, and now she's working as a software engineer, fully remote. She's making six figures. We talk about all that stuff, specifics of salary and interviewing and technical interviews. But we also talk about a lot of very general stuff around changing careers and learning to code and teaching yourself. So I hope there's something here for everyone, whether you care about me, my courses, about Springboard, whether you have no idea who I am, or you actively don't care. I hope there's something here for you. So without further ado, let's get started. This is my interview with Julia. Hey, Julia. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to talk a lot about your new software engineering role, how you got that job, and all of that fun stuff. But why don't we start with what you did before? So what was your old career?
Hi, Cole. Thanks for having me here. Yes, definitely. So before my software engineering job, I was working in hospitality. I finished my studies in hospitality as well, and my whole career for about 8 years was in hotels, managing different hotels. My very last job was being a part of a team to open a hotel in New York.
Okay, so very different from software engineering. Um, what led to you, deciding to switch careers? Was it something you had thought about for a long time? Was it a COVID related situation? How did that come about?
In the specific terms, what I knew is basics of HTML and CSS, and I had a course in my university to build a very, basic app, make let's say a ball jump on a screen or something like that. That was the maximum I was doing. So I kind of had this base, like I knew the HTML tags and what they mean and stuff like that, right? But I didn't know more than that. And so, since my career was absolutely different, I didn't kind of progress myself into this direction. I kind of forgot about this until I kept going back. And at some point, I realized that, in order for me to know in 100% that I really want to do this, maybe it would be a good thing to do, let's say, a free course online, which a lot of free courses online exist to, you know, to try yourself out and to see if you actually enjoy, going deeper into engineering and seeing if you actually will like that. So I started from those kind of courses before searching for a boot camp and realizing that, my interest that was there is still there, and this is something I would like to do.
Was there ever a point where you were thinking you could just sort of like self teach yourself or study on your own? And what made you decide that you needed, to find a boot camp or a program or something?
At first, when I started with those free online courses, I thought that it would be possible for me to teach myself because I was already teaching myself using those free courses. However, I felt like I needed some guidance in terms of what exactly should I be learning right now, because I wanted to get current, you know, like I wanted to get the specific knowledge that is needed in current times of what people want, what companies want, who do they hire, with what qualifications. And so I felt like I needed guidance for somebody to, to tell me what is current now, what do I need to do in order to get into the industry. Because self-teaching yourself, I think it's great, and I think it's absolutely not impossible. You can do that, but you will get better results, with some guidance in terms of this.
What were you looking at, or what was most important to you when you were comparing? Because there's many, like tons of similar programs in competition. Was it the self-paced? Was it the mentors? Was it some other thing? How'd you make that choice?
I think it's very important to not only look through the material or watch the videos of the material, but then practice as well. And what I realized from the advisors before I started is that there's a lot of practice material after each unit. And this was something super important for me because, without practice, I think in this industry, and not even industry, but in software engineering just in general, I don't think a person will get too far with just watching videos and that's it. So you have to practice. The amount of projects that they said that I would come out after this boot camp was really great and really important for the resume as well, especially for the person who is switching careers and who technically won't have, apart from those projects, won't have any relevant experience in the industry at all. So that was something that was very interesting for me. And just coming back to mentors, they mentioned that mentors are actually people who are working currently in a bigger companies, and so I felt like it was very interesting that, you know, you as a springboard, right? Decided to take mentors who are actually working in the industry, so they have an on the spot and current experience with, with everything that they're doing instead of if they were just to, teach a software engineering course.
So let's just dive into the what the reality was like once you started. So you actually enrolled in, when was that? Early or late 2020, like
Mm-hmm.
December?
Yep, it was December.
Okay. And then how long did it take you to finish the course?
I finished the course in about 6 months. I know it's a bit earlier than the full course itself. The full course is 9 months, but I also tend to be extremely strict on myself, and so I was completing course every day, and I decided to have almost zero weekends in between. So that's why that's why I was able to complete the course so fast. I know some students with whom I was speaking in Springboard, they sometimes they needed like a week or 2 week of, vacation, not a vacation, but break from the course, which is, by the way, another thing that Springboard offers, which is really nice.
Is there anything that gave you trouble in the course, or something that was particularly tough? I mean, you made it through all of it, but is there something that sticks out to you?
I would say the data structures and algorithms unit was the most difficult just because it packed so much different information in such a short period of time. And it's not specifically in this course, I've realized that in the other courses online that I've done as well, it's just such an important topic to grasp, and it needs a lot of practice and understanding to, in order to go online and do some problems and all the hackathons with those. So I think that was the most difficult and important, the most important topic to do, because I don't think that without this unit and without this topic, I would be able to get a job. So I think this is the most important thing ever.
You are employed.
Yeah.
You did get your first software engineering role. What was that process like from the end? Did you say August roughly when you finished up the course?
Yes, correct. Mhm.
From the August until when you received your offer, how difficult was that process for you? And especially when it came to interviewing, how many places did you interview at? Did you have any notable failures or successes before you got your first offer?
I interviewed just in general before I got a job. I've interviewed with about 10 different companies, and I had about 4 to 6 interviews per company before I got my offer.
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot, yes, but also right now, and I'm just going back to it, there are some things that the new students can do to, not to get yourself worked up on the amount of interviews, but actually do good and be prepared before they actually come. Because from all the interviews, you will have a behavioral interview, you will have a technical interview when they will give you some coding problem to solve. Then, what I realized a lot of companies are asking for is to talk about your project as well, which is something that you don't have to do on the spot, because they will let you know in advance that they want you to talk about the project. And it will be something that you already done, for example, from Springboard, right? So this kind of presentation can be done beforehand, and you don't have to worry about it in terms of the interview and when the interview comes. So my advice for new students is to definitely prepare after the graduation. Is to definitely prepare the project with with some kind of a presentation to talk about it.
Great. So that was interviewing. Then you accepted a job, right? And let's talk a little bit about the job and the role. So first, where do you work?
I work at a real estate startup based in Brooklyn called North Spire.
And what type of developer, title do you have? Is it full stack or front end, back end?
Yes, no, I do everything. It's full stack. I'm a software engineer. I started full stack from my day two. I started having projects on the front end side, which most of it was React and TypeScript, and on the back end side with Python and Jest and all that. Writing APIs, writing the front ends for it. Since it's a startup, you may know it's a very busy environment, but it's a very supportive environment as well. So it's been going great so far, and I think I've made a great decision to do this whole career change and to choose Springboard as well as my starting point.
Great. Well, one more detail question. Everyone always wants to know about salary and how things change for you before and after. And please only share as much as you're comfortable with. But how was there an improvement aside from being able to work from home and flexible hours, unlimited vacation, but salary wise, from your previous job to your current job, did things change?
Yes, things definitely changed. And what I can say, is that the the salary improvement that I've had prior to now is about 25%. I don't mind sharing, the numbers. I used to make below 100 before. It was around 75, 80. And right now I'm making more than 100,000.
Yeah, it seemed like you definitely worked hard at it, both within the course, but also just, after graduation, even before enrolling, trying to figure out what course to enroll in and trying to do some self-study, which I think is important for people to realize. Unfortunately, you can't just, show up and watch a couple of videos and get a job. You still have to do a lot. But congratulations. That sounds like a big improvement in a lot of ways over your previous job. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Can you do me one more favor? Can you just go get your dog for a
Oh
second?
my gosh, yes, I can.
Oh, hello. I would show you my chickens, but I don't have them accessible right now. But this my cat will have to do. Can you say hi? Say bye. Say thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Colt.
Have a good rest
Have
of
a
your
good
night.
one as well. Bye-bye.